We've all been told at some point in our life, you're making this up in your head. And as frustrating as that is to hear, there's a chance they might be right. I see a lot of people who come into my practice and just in being alive where we weren't really taught how to listen well. We listen through our own filters, and what we clinicians will call cognitive distortions start coming out. That is where they're leaning on these 12 to 15 different defense mechanisms, essentially, in how they've adapted to life and how they've listened. And oftentimes that is emotional reasoning or catastrophizing or projecting or mind readings, rather than just staying present and asking clarifying questions to really truly understand the other person. Somebody can say something crystal clear to you, but there's no path to resolution when your mind morphs their words to mean something else. Cognitive distortions are a big problem in being understood or when trying to have a feedback loop with someone else. They are already coming to the table with their own thinking patterns that aren't really what the other person's trying to convey, and so they respond from their perspective rather than what's being presented to them. Catastrophizing. It is when we take a situation to the far worst place possible it could go immediately. A headache could be an aneurysm. A fight could mean divorce. A misstep could end their career. And seldom is this true. Emotional reasoning. It's another cognitive distortion. I'm feeling this way, therefore it must be true, or therefore you must be feeling this way too. May or may not be true, but making that assumption that it is emotional reasoning. Mind reading, that is getting ahead of what someone is actually saying and trying to jump to the future and then responding with what your mind thinks they're going to say, when maybe the other person actually wasn't trying to go there with what they were trying to convey. Over-generalized thinking, you come in and you say, I'm so frustrated because you always leave your shoes at the front door. I don't always leave my shoes at the front door. They're gonna fight the fact because now they feel attacked. I feel frustrated when you frequently leave. When the frequently piece comes in, it's disarming to the other person because there is room for a gray. It's not black or white. Black and white thinking can be one of the biggest cognitive distortions. That is where people come into the conversation that things must be this way or that way. F the gray. And that, friends, is a one-way highway. So these are the different types of things that kind of get in the way of people trying to connect and be understood. Improving communication begins with how we listen. Learn more about how your mind might be playing tricks on you in the link in description. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.